you know, we have to start with the most important questions first, the big questions that are facing West Africa. Do you prefer Nigerian Jollof or Ghanaian Jollof?
I think I give it to Gambian Jollof.
Gambian Jollof. Well, you heard it here first. Right now, there's really interesting things in music happening, especially around from the African continent in the diaspora. I mean, how would you describe your own music at the moment?
I feel my music is Bantu music. I always say it every time. And Bantu music is fusion. It's African fusion music, and I feel like that's what most of the greats have done. Like from even Fela's interpretation was Afrobeat and more instrumental, more jazz influence, and very, very political, you know. But mine is feel good fusion, African fusion music, and it's Bantu music. It all started March last year. And March last year, I'm in my office, and then I get an email saying they want me to come do 5 shows in the UK. And I was having a laugh because I was like, these guys probably don't know. I even thought there was something sinister going on, but we come to the UK. The first show in Leicester has almost 2,000 people there, and I'm saying to myself, wow, something is really happening here. And I feel that's where I started to pay attention, and all the money we made from that first tour, we put it back in. We came back in July, we did a massive, successful tour. We did the O2 Kentish Town, and you know, everything just started. At that point, I just said, you know what, I feel we could do this full time. So the UK has always been the central point because, you know, there's so much mixed diaspora population here, and they accepted the music first, and they're the ones bringing me everything. Most of my successes can be tied to the UK, and, you know, we're grateful.
I mean, one thing that's really interesting about your music is that it sounds very new. I mean, you can hear the Afrobeat tradition inside it, but actually what's really telling is the actual lyrics. There's real stories inside the pieces, and it really reminds me of kind of some post-colonial writers like Chinua Achebe. A lot of the characters in them would almost say similar things to what you're saying in your songs. So how significant are storytelling and stories to your work?
So everybody's a product of their environment, and we become whatever we're around. Do you understand? And growing up, my grandpa used to feed me with stories, like all them stories of like the tortoise, the lion, the deer. There was always some sinister character or some character being talked about. And I feel like that plus a lot of hip hop I started listening to like between 2008, 2010 just influences my songwriting. And this is what it is. Life is just full of stories. Your life this morning is a story. You could put that into a song. You could put that into a song, how you met me by the train station and how we got here. So we just need instrumentals at the end of the day. It's just stories of my life on African instrumentals, on worldwide instrumentals. That's it. Yeah.
And talking about like the stories, the story of your own life. Now, you talk about your music being a fusion, but you also seem to be a bit of a fusion.
In myself.
Yeah,
because at the end of the day, I'm an expression. My music is an expression of myself. So anything I'm talking about, you must first edify yourself, isn't it? So it's not just feel-good music. It is like I put a part of me on the instrumentals every time I go in. So if you've met my music, you probably met me.
Right now, there's been a huge renaissance in music of Africa and the diaspora. What is the engine driving that boom, that growth in creativity, but also in community and interest?
So I feel like we just have to give thanks to the internet. You know, the internet has made the world a very small place. And then right now, I think just globally, there's this search for new sounds, for new cultures, and we have to big up the dancers as well. The dancers with all the dance viral campaigns. You could see like with almost all my records, it's not been a radio push, it's been a dancer push. So the dancers grab the records and they do all these dance videos, they put it on Instagram. Before you know it, it's trending everywhere, and then the music just starts to spread. So I feel like it's happening everywhere right now, and the dancers are playing a very key role.
Now, one of the big things right now is about how popular the Afrobeat, kind of Afro trap, this new fusion sound is. But a lot of it's become infused into mainstream pop music. I mean, how do you feel about the music being gentrified, or some would say appropriated?
This is a question I get asked most of the time, and what I always say is there's always a first step, right? The first step is we're seeing huge pop stars love the sound and make records that sound like African music. Do you understand? That sound like Bantu music. And what that's doing is when a random kid from some country who likes an artist, say for instance, say it's a Justin Bieber, so a kid who likes Justin Bieber, and then tomorrow Justin Bieber puts out a sound that sounds like what Mr. Eazi will be doing, what will happen is she's gonna follow the breadcrumbs, and then she's gonna bump on Mr. Eazi, and she's gonna be like, wow, this sounds like that Justin's record. Plus it has so much culture, it has the full dance, it has the full regalia, the full lifestyle, and you're gonna follow it to the bread, so you follow the breadcrumbs. So I feel like the more people from outside the culture try to sample the sound or enjoy the sound, the better it is for me. I just have to be there. I just have to be there with the bread. So for instance, like I think like the third biggest like movie industry right now is Nollywood, and then you have in Ghana you have Gollywood. So you have, this thing is not just happening with the music. It's also happening with the movies. It's also happening with the fashion. So it's a cultural takeover. That's what I mean by culture. It's a cultural takeover. It's like we're imposing some way or the other African culture being represented in the arts, music, fashion, movies, theater is getting on center stage, and this is an exciting time. So this is not just happening with the music. And at the end of the day, if everything connects, like, we're gonna have a huge time to spend here, man.
I mean, there's so much happening right now in Nigerian politics, especially, you know, bring back our girls, some of the inequalities between the north and the south, especially around like politics.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel pressure to get involved in politics and to be an activist and to use your voice as an artist for political change?
Yeah. You know what I always say? I say there are two types of people. The outright activists fighting for a cause, and then the bridge builders. I see myself, Mr. Eazi is a bridge builder. Now, if building a bridge between two different locations would make me have to say something or have to stand or have to be an activist in some form, then, you know, I just might be. But I'm a lover, like I always say. So if I would ever fight for anything, it's gonna be fighting for love, like fighting for peace, fighting for peaceful elections, saying, yo, you guys have peaceful elections, you guys have good governance. It's not gonna be an activist to oust or an activist to cause anything that's gonna cause war. I represent love, you know. I'm just gonna be an activist for love. I say the only thing to fight for is love.
I mean, all kind of creatives kind of say that. It's a very kind of, oh, we just want to love, we just want to love. But I mean, there are real issues. I mean, you take the campaign to bring back our girls and some of the cleavages between the South. I mean, the South of Nigeria, there's real wealth. But then the North, there's real inequalities, and that plays out. And so did you ever feel the pressure to speak out on some of these things?
Sometimes if my followers on Twitter, they could see, like a lot of times I always say what's on my mind. A lot of times I say what's on my mind. There's inequality everywhere, not just in northern Nigeria, not just even in western Nigeria, there's inequality. There's inequality in London. There's inequality everywhere in the world. So, you know, at the end of the day, when things get to me, I'm vocal about it. You might not see me on the streets, you know, leading a campaign. I don't know if it will ever get to that stage. I don't know if I'll feel something strongly enough to get on the streets, but I use my tools, and my tools are like my social media, my music, my videos, send messages in my videos, in my tweets, you know. That's where it is for now. I don't know about tomorrow. You never know. It's her bomb. But she got a guy where they send down money from London. She they see me like a Johnny just come. When monkey they walk, baboon just they chop. I go chop all the washing, as long as you give me my portion. Baby, make you know they rush me. I beg you, make you treat me with caution. Leg over, my baby, give me leg over. Hangover, it be she they give me hangover. Leg over. My baby, give me leg over.